So he just got dropped again thanks to Big Mike.
Hey, buddy.
He's the #1 shuttle bunny for the River Kings. I mean shuttle buddy. Sorry.
Man.
All the boats are on the side of the road. Let's get in the woods and get down the river, and then we'll be on. Whew. So sometimes the beaten trail is not the trail you want. Sometimes it is. But there is no trail for where we're at. And we're kind of making it happen. Pretty steep, not too far drag, just enough to get your heart pumping a little bit. Right down here is the river. It's running big and brown today for what it is, but it's not crazy. It's probably going to be the perfect level. And this is the East Fork of the Little River. We'll probably go 5 miles, a little more than 5 miles maybe, and we'll meet the West Fork, and then it'll become the Little River proper. And then about 5 more miles, we anticipate this island to have a nice campsite. So that's the plan, make about 10 miles, camp before we get into the urban stretches down there near Troy. So here we are on the bank, the sun just came out, the boys are ready to go. They're always making fun of me for saying, but I'm gonna catch them. Come here, squirrel, let's have a little conversation, squirrel. So, how do you feel about today, squirrel?
Feel great.
Tell me what you're thinking about is going to be the best part of the day.
Me flipping your boat.
You're going to flip my boat?
Yes.
That's going to be the best part of the day? Do you expect any trouble?
No.
Where would you expect trouble?
Oh,
got him!
I've lost track of how many miles I've paddled and how many rivers I've paddled on. And I've taken on everything from the raging Class 5 rivers, 40-foot waterfalls, to the seemingly motionless coastal swamps. I've paddled on the might of the big sea. Yet one of my favorite things to do is to grab a group of good friends and explore a seemingly unknown river in our backyard. This time, we take on the East Fork of the Little River. Chris Dustin and Squirrel joined me a month prior to explore the lower end of this river, the bottom 25 miles. They rejoin me again for the top 18. Also rounding out the team is Brian Hubbard and Greg Adams. That's a fine group of friends to do anything with, let alone a beautiful river. Not knowing what to expect from the river, I did know one thing.
Oh yeah, nice.
Hazards on a river of this size will always present themselves by way of wood and trees blocking the river, as the banks are narrower than the length of the trees are tall. When a tree falls, it stays. Probably the most dangerous thing a paddler can anticipate is a downed tree. We hadn't been on the water long, and we had a near disaster.
Don't jam up on each other. Don't get sideways on that log, Greg. Back up, Greg. Greg, you can't do it, Greg. Lean left hard. Lean left hard. Lean left hard. Don't get up, Greg. There you go. Greg, push out and lean left. Hold on, Greg. Don't move. Don't move, Greg. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Hold on. right. There you go. Now you're in it. Woo! Hey guys, you can't play on these trainers.
The situation was completely avoidable. Greg unwittingly put himself in a horrible situation in an attempt not to crowd Brian. Sometimes you need to feel yourself up against a log. Sometimes you need to see your friend almost get sucked under to remind yourself how important it is to stay vigilant. Stay away from the trees. They're not your friend. We were all glad to have Greg still around. Makes you appreciate your friendships even more. The beast had delivered a sobering moment. The sun felt warmer. The buds on the trees were greener. And we all relaxed into a beautiful afternoon. Perhaps no one enjoyed the weekend more than Brian. He had lost a member of his family, and he needed a little time to relax and decompress, and think about nothing except what's around that next bend. Critical to enjoying your time in the outdoors is the company you keep. I'm blessed to have such a good group of friends who will chase these rivers with me. Spend that time. And every now and then it's nice to have somebody looking back to make sure you're all right. The damage of the floodwaters was evident up here too, though a little less severe. In all the guidebooks I have on eastern North Carolina, there's about a 4-sentence paragraph on this river with almost no detail. But the quality of scenery, surroundings, and rapids makes this a gem of a river. And it's been right under our noses all this time.
All right, so the guys are behind me. We've been cruising down the river, getting into some pretty nice little rapids. Little feeder creeks like this are running in every so often. The water's at a perfect level. It truly couldn't be better. Sun's out, the buds are on the trees, and it's like, it feels like spring. And the boys are having fun.
River guided gently by her sweet to the shoreline in the distance. The lights of the city summon after me. is my one and only home. The branches on the riverside sing to me in the wind. Godspeed, you wayward passenger.
I think we might need to get us a little lunch break.
With the river guided gently by her stream, and when I set my feet on the ground, I'll never forget how sweetly moving me was the river I explored.
Lunch break. All right, so we found the world's best lunch stop rock. Kind of see the panoramic here. Boats are around us. It even comes with a log pre-deposited from the last flood as a bench, drying rack, and it's perfect. Got a nice view downstream. We're about to head off that way. It's been a great day. Looks like a good rapid right there.
Weightlessness, no gravity. Were we somewhere in between? I'm a ghost to you, you're a ghost to me. A bird's eye view, sandalweed. Other eyes are shining like the sea. For you, the queen of chandeliers. I'm a ghost to you, you're a ghost to me. A bird's eye view of San Luis. Cutting through the avenues, I'd always find my way to you. Beside the hook, the hammer lies. And fumbling round in the smoke, spending time chasing ghosts. Hold me down, child. Hold me down, child. California called you queen, with your golden hair and magazine. Were you somewhere in between, fast asleep, fly and dream? I'm a ghost to you, you're a ghost to me. A bird's eye view of San Luis. I'm a ghost to you, you're a ghost to me. A bird's eye view of San Luis. I'm a ghost to you, you're a ghost to me. A bird's eye view of San Luis. I'm a ghost to you, you're a ghost to me. A bird's eye view of San Luis.
Well, we got camp mostly set up here. Squirrel got the fire going for us. Now he's hanging his stuff. My stuff's all set up. Just went with the Kelty 12 this time. Weather's a little better. Temperature-wise, there's no need for the 16-footer. But I did bring my good quilts, because I always bring the good quilts. You can always dump heat, but it's really hard to create heat. So those of you wondering which quilt to get, just get the Zero, and you can manage the heat off of you. It's not really worth it to try to skimp on that regard. Wouldn't you say, Brian?
What's that?
What rating quilt would you get?
0 degree incubator.
Why not the 40 or the 30 or the 20?
If you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly.
If you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly. It's a beautiful day. Man, it's really pretty out. Pretty weather.
I thought we were going to be sitting in a lot more mud.
Yes, we saw this spot. Normally we take a little bit more rustic spot, but I had to get out and change my GoPro batteries, and so I was really going to the bank to get the batteries changed when I saw this spot. I mean, look at this thing. Right here in Uwharrie National Forest. Beautiful rapid right below camp. Just a good flat area, good trees for the hammocks, kind of spread out, get out of everybody's way. It's a primo spot. Perfect. Let's get these coals going some more. Get these steaks on there. All right, I got Chris and Greg. We're up here on the rock overlooking camp, trying to find cell signal. When we first got here, there was 4G. Now it's down to 3G. I'm not sure what's happening. We're trying to go up higher to see if that helps. But you see camp down below. Got the fire going, to getting the coals right for our steaks. Just beautiful river. Beautiful day. Perfect camp. And 3 little kids sitting on a rock. That's basically what we got right there. How was the steak, Squirrel?
Great. My steak biscuits were awesome.
Steak biscuits were awesome.
Wish I could share.
Squirrel did not share his biscuits with me. He had 2. I'm a little disappointed.
Better luck next time.
Hope he gets a pancake in the morning, but it doesn't look good. So my steak is almost done. My wife gave me this big old honker, which is good, except it takes a while to cook. Chris has got me on the hot spot right here. I think we're about there. All right, so I got my steak. It's perfect. Might be the best steak I ever had. Thanks, babe, for the steak.
Might be the last steak you ever had, too.
That's good. Now, if I had a couple pieces of bread to put the steak on, to have a steak burger, then I'd be set. But someone didn't share with me. That's how you start a fire in the morning, boys and girls. Look, some people like to pretend like they're bushcrafters and survivalists, and they have some skills. Well, I have those skills. And you get to a point in life, you're like, no, man, let's just get the fire started.
I'm just a hack.
Yeah. So, you don't have to impress anybody out here. Just throw some lighter fluid on that thing, start your fire, cook your breakfast, and move on down the river. Or you can do it your way, either way. Any way's good. A beaver in the water. Fire's almost ready. Squirrel's loading her up with some bigger sticks so it can have a nice coal bed. Chris is up. Brian enjoyed the first night in his burrow quilt.
Highly recommend the burrow.
Oh yeah. So keeping fire, lads. We're gonna cook some bacon. So I just made, thanks to Squirrel and Chris, a smaggiacino, which is 1 part coffee, 1 part hot chocolate. And smudge is Sergeant Major. So it's the kind of thing a Sergeant Major would drink. This is breakfast. This is Tron's bacon. She hooked me up, half cooked it so we wouldn't have to cook it all the way out here. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna throw some pancakes on this thing.
Grease it up.
Man, that looks good. Sounds good.
You're gonna get the heat right.
So that looks good. It's going to be Tennessee honey whiskey blackberry pancakes with honey bourbon bacon. What do you think? Oh, it's ready. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Look at that bad boy right there, boy! So when you're cooking in the outdoors, you got to be creative and smart. We are trapping the bacon grease and the foil off the bacon that's under there. And each time we need to do another pancake, we just get a little bit of grease back in the pan, keep everything non-stick. So that's your pro tip of the week, cooking on a campfire with Chef Squirrel. So while Squirrels is finishing up there, we're gonna go ahead and get cranking on it. I may have cheated and eaten a piece of bacon already, but that's the honey bourbon bacon with Tennessee honey jack whiskey blackberry pancakes. A little heated by the fire Cracker Barrel syrup. That's living River King style right there. So we wanted to say special thanks to James Frank, one of my subscribers, who gave me the idea to do this. I could not create the, I didn't have time to go get everything for the blackberry brandy pancakes, but I hope this is good enough, and I hope everyone at home is hungry, because this stuff right here is pretty good. How would you rate that pancake there, Chris? 1 to 10.
10, pretty good.
10.
I got that. Pretty good.
Greg?
10.5.
10.5, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that thing right there. Dip it in my syrup. Oh man, that's a 12 out of 10. Thanks to my wife for putting the batter and the ingredients together. I would like to take credit, but I'm just lucky. The honey bourbon bacon. Oh man.
Camping, buddy.
Uncle Matt missed out.
Uncle Matt.
Matt Beck would have liked this.
Matt Beck. Uncle Matt missed out. When I woke up, the river was, the gauge said 2.83 feet. We put on yesterday, it was 4.5 feet and dropping, so it probably dropped a good foot overnight. Probably a foot during the day yesterday and a foot overnight. And it's dropped substantially since I've woken up even, exposing more rock. What that's gonna mean today is that as we go down the river, we're gonna have to start picking our line versus just follow the flush. It's gonna get a little more technical even than yesterday, but it will be a little less pushy, which is probably, even though technical is it just gets a little trickier. The pushy is what gets you in trouble. So a little less pushy, a little more technical, still good level. And we're about to shove off and find out what the day holds. Whew, was a fine morning in our camp. Best breakfast we've ever had together on any trip. Again, special thanks to James Frank for the suggestion, and the guys willingly suffered through that to bring you what you needed. But overcast, trying to drizzle, but not really there yet. It may rain on us, we're not sure. But the boys feeling good, everyone's in spirits. We got about 8 miles to go, and then we're gonna be at the put-in for the last trip, which is the takeout for this trip. So yeah, just a fantastic night's sleep. Everything about this trip's been great. The river level today, still gonna be good for making miles, and I think those miles will come a little easier than yesterday because there'll be less scouting, things of that nature. That's what I think, so we'll find out. Never done this run. There's very little information on this run, but this is a fantastic river. Again, with East Fork of the Little River, it's a good one. Now it's time for a little coffee, a little smagicino.
we ride.
And with our bellies full and our hearts happy, so began the perfect end to a perfect weekend. So that was our weekend on the East Fork of the Little River. Equal parts exploring a new river and making memories with good friends. We had a couple close calls, and we'd found the perfect campsite and those pancakes. Brian was able to decompress. Greg was able to get back out on the water with us. Squirrel, fresh off a new job and a new career, is able to spend a little more time outdoors with his buddies. Speaking about changes, we all got some fantastic news. Chris is going to be a daddy. Me, I just enjoy spending some time with the River Kings, and it doesn't really matter where. Life, like the river, is always changing. And as you paddle through life, keep those you can count on close. Because perfect weekends, perfect rivers, and good friends are all hard to come by.